Today I thought I'd share with you 4 dinners that we ate last week that are simple, easy to make, and they taste amazing. Now make sure you watch to the end of the video for my spicy chicken surprise, because trust me, you don't want to miss that. And also I'm going to get Mark to help me in this video because the thing is, he cooks too. So without further ado, let's get cooking. So first up for dinner is my Chinese chicken curry, which is a bit of a mildly spicy curry like you get from a Chinese takeaway here in the UK. For the rice, we take about a mug's worth and add 2 mugs of boiling water to a glass dish and pop the lid on. This goes in the microwave at the lowest heat for 30 minutes. We used 1 large chicken breast, which was more than enough. Try to chop it as thin as possible so it cooks quicker. So for our spices, we'll need 2 tablespoons of flour, gluten-free if you need it to be, 2 teaspoons of curry powder, half a teaspoon of chili flakes, half a teaspoon of ginger, and a pinch of cumin. Start by melting 2 tablespoons of coconut oil and then frying some grated or shredded carrot until soft. Add your spice mix to the pan and mix around until the carrot is well coated. Then add your stock, a dash of soy sauce, I use gluten-free, and your chopped chicken. Lastly, add some frozen peas if you fancy and chop some fresh chives on top. This smells amazing by this point. This is one of our go-to dinners because it's so quick and easy to make totally from scratch. And of course, it tastes awesome.
Now do something to waste your time. You do something.
Okay, so I'm going to hand this over to Mark, who will tell you how he makes his amazing spaghetti and turkey meatballs.
So I take some turkey thigh mince and add salt, smoked paprika, black pepper, mixed herbs and some garlic infused olive oil. Then I mash it with a spoon so I don't get my hands messy, even though I'm actually going to get my hands messy in about the next 10 seconds. So when it comes to rolling, I'm going for a golf ball size, as the smaller they are, the quicker they cook. So yeah, I place them on a baking tray and whack them in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay, so my secret for great spaghetti is to add a little olive oil and salt to the water. Then I'm going to start frying some spiralized courgette, which I basically add to this because I don't think we eat enough vegetables. And it's spiralized because that makes it nice and thin and it cooks really quickly. And once it's softened, I add chopped tomatoes, 1 teaspoon of sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt. Then I'm adding some ripped up bits of basil leaves, a little more garlic infused olive oil, black pepper. So now my pasta is done, I'm just going to drain that, get my meatballs out of the oven and add them to my sauce. And that's basically job done. If I'm feeling lazy, I'll basically just fry the meatball mince as mince and then add it to the sauce, so it's more like spaghetti bolognese. But yeah, I find meatballs quite fun to make anyway, so I generally don't mind making these. But yeah, that's how to make my spaghetti and turkey meatballs.
And I'll start to clap, 'cause I'm feeling good.
Okay, I'm back now and I'm going to show you how to make my spicy chicken surprise, which is something we just totally made up. And it's served with mustard and chive mash, which I'll show you how to whip up as well. I'm going to get the potatoes on first because they take ages to cook, and whilst I don't love peeling potatoes at all, it's always worth it to get insanely creamy, smooth mash. So I'm just going to chop these up and put them on to boil. If you're wondering what on earth chicken surprise is, then here's where you find out. It's basically chopped strips of chicken breast seasoned with smoked paprika and then layered with mozzarella and prosciutto and some spicy salami. I just keep layering until I've run out of chicken basically. It's really easy to make. It basically makes a nice chunk of roast meat that's packed with flavour and melty, cheesy goodness.
So that I can take it home, hoping I can keep it when I'm there when we go. Try to catch it with my...
Then I just pop it in the oven for about 30 minutes. Now for my mash. After draining the potatoes, I add milk and butter, a teaspoon of whole grain mustard, salt and pepper, and some more butter apparently. Then mash some more before adding some freshly chopped chives. So here's my spicy chicken surprise. Honestly, we've been making this for years and it's something that Mark just started making with stuff we had in the fridge. And it's been one of our weeknight dinners for probably a few years now. And served up with that creamy mash, it's an absolute match made in heaven.
Okay, so I'm back again, hello, and right now I think I'm showing you how to make my crispy chicken stir fry with rice noodles. Now, coating the chicken does take a little bit longer to make this, but trust me, it is so worth it. So I start by chopping chicken as thin as possible, then coating in breadcrumbs, desiccated coconut, chili flakes, lime zest, and some salt. After giving it a good mix, I then fry it in garlic infused olive oil until golden and crispy. I'd usually coat this in egg before adding the breadcrumb coating, to be honest, but I just couldn't face an extra bowl to wash up that day, and I think it still turned out really well anyway. So after my chicken is cooked, I start frying grated carrot until soft. Whilst that's going on, I'm just going to prepare my noodles. I love using these dry rice noodles as you can keep them in the cupboard, and then when you want to use them, all you have to do is add hot water to them in a bowl and then cover the bowl with a plate for about 5 minutes or so. Then you magically have perfectly cooked rice noodles, and then all you have to do is just drain the water, and I'm going to add them to my wok and toss them with the carrots. So now I'm adding some soy sauce, gluten-free for Becky, some minced ginger, and some sesame oil, which gives the noodles tons of flavour. Lastly, I always add some freshly chopped chives for that oniony flavour. Add the chicken on top and you're done. You can always add more veg to this if you fancy as well. Also, I meant to add bean sprouts, but I forgot, even though they were in the fridge. They give it a nice crunch, so don't forget to add them like I did if you have them. Not bad for about 20 minutes worth of cooking, I think.
If you fancy seeing more of what we have for dinner, then just click the video you can see on the screen now. Or you can check out my What I Eat in a Day playlist too. So click one of these and I'll see you in the next video.